Okay, we finally got the main gun to move up and down. That's going down pretty good there. That's probably, well, that is more than what the stock model would have had. So this has been enhanced, the degrees in which this gun moves. It's noticeably more than what the stock unit would have been able to do because of the limitations of the way it was designed. So I've seen pictures of where the gun crews clean the gun on the tank, and they stand in front of the tank over here, and they use these things right here with a cleaning element to clean that gun out. So it's helpful if that gun goes down like that. So I'm pretty sure the original one would do that. But the model looked to me like it had just a slight amount of depression. In the stock model, it would been like this. So I've added this much more. That's quite a few degrees more. So that's pretty much the center line right there. And then this is the up. So it's got a pretty good sweep here, range of motion. Okay, let's see how it's doing that. Okay, I added this gearbox here on the side. I'm not sure what model this was in originally. I bought a lot of parts to get these gearboxes, and the original one looks pretty similar to this and is mounted in pretty much the same location. But I've added a longer throw arm to the gearbox to give it more movement, and then the way it's connected, the bracket here, that's a homemade bracket that connects down to the bottom. That would be the roof of the turret. So let's see how that works. That would be down, and this would be up. So you can see that bracket has a swivel to it. It's able to move back and forth a little bit, and that gives that extra range of movement along with the longer arm. So you can see the whole gun is moving quite a bit there. And when it hits the end of its travel, there's a slip clutch inside the gearbox that allows it to slip without damaging the gearbox. All right, so that's how that worked. Now that was quite a bit of work figuring all that out. It just, well, as far as modeling goes, you had to, my name is Modeler on the site where I post this information, and I modeled this modification with some plastic components, just plastic scrap pieces. Here's some of the remnants of that part that I made. I just took a piece of scrap and molded it and drilled holes in it and made it fit in here. There's a screw out at the very bottom that you can just see that screw that's anchoring that bracket to the top of the turret. We're looking at the bottom side, looking up at the turret. So that's a pretty ingenious little setup there that gives this gun maximum elevation and depression. Move it out of the way. So you can see it moves pretty good there. So the object of this mod is to this turret will have, for this KV2, it's going to have left and right, main gun up and down, and then recoil with fire. When you push the fire button, you can sort of recoil and do a muzzle flash at the same time. So all three of those things are being added those functions. See, that's 4 functions actually. The left and right is done by this gearbox that I added here. That makes the gun move left, or makes the whole turret move left and right. So that's function 1. Recoil's function 2. Elevation and depression of the gun, that's 3. And then a muzzle flash, that's 4. So that's 4 functions added to this static turret. All right, that's all for now.